total freedom in Iceland to like ride their bike to school. I mean, that's why we moved there. It's because it's the safest country in the world, and they have their childhood back, and they have autonomy, and they get to like go. Their iPhones are totally parentally like locked down,
controlled,
everything. And actually the parental controls on phones are fascinating. It's awesome. My kids aren't like obsessed with their phones, which I love. They're not like, you know, at the end of the day. But the cool thing is like, that's how they're able to communicate with their friends, you know? And I think that that's important. Like they need to be able to text their friends and call their friends and make plans. And I want to empower that independence. The only thing we let them play is Pokemon Go. Only because they get to do it with friends. And it's like, you only get to do it when you're with friends. We don't own any gaming systems. We don't have any of that. But we're never so rigid that we're like, well, if you go to a friend's house, you can play. Because that's the way that their friend interacts. And that's the way that their family allows, you know, what they allow in their home. And it's not my job to control that part of their life. The way I see it, it's really simple. It's like, I tell my kids, like, you need to be involved in something, whether that's right now they're in jiu-jitsu and they're going to ski club. And it's like, if you're active every day of the week, doing something after school, whether it is, you know, again, playing football or this, that, then we're good. Like it's, if you want to spend some of your free time after other things are done, you know, playing with your friends, playing Pokemon Go or going to your friend's house and playing video games, I don't mind. You know,
yeah,
that's kind of the way that I feel like there's got to be. And I think that the key thing is you just have to be involved enough to where you know. And I realized growing up that so many of my friends that were just total, like the kids who didn't maybe turn out, you know, ideal. It's just the parents weren't involved. They just didn't even know what they were doing. They had no idea. And I think that's a part of it. Is I try to know. I try to be aware. It's wild texting your son. Like it's wild texting your kid. I now have this relationship where I'm like, I kind of love it because before I would like text my wife, text Bree, and like send them a video like, hey, I'm here, and try to be, you know, but now I send it directly to them and like I get to talk to them. Like
it's so crazy.
I feel closer to them though.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Technology has provided that. So it's this, I mean, I'm not providing really answers here. I'm just saying like, it's a challenging
But how did they
relationship.
feel? Did they have a hard time? I mean, you're quite online, obviously, for your business and your life. And I feel like if I message you, you're going to respond within a day. Yeah, generally.
I don't let my text like I can't. I'm one of those people who like my inbox has every email read.
Right, which I assume with the volume of messages you like, that's a feat in and of itself. But how do they feel about not using social media, seeing how you use social media? I mean, maybe when they were younger, maybe they couldn't quite understand some of the nuances there. Right. Are they starting to
Totally. They get it. Like, I mean, they get it. Cause like I'll share a video of my kid and they'll be like, oh, I want to see that, you know? And they'll be like, what does this person say? And well, but like, and they'll see that stuff. And part of that makes me like cringe inside and die a little bit. And then the other part of me is like, well, I don't know, you know, to be honest, like it's something that I try to separate from them. Like I don't want them to see me on my phone, and I've made it a point to be like, if I'm going to use my phone, I just tell them, I'm like, I'm here, I'm going to be working right now. I got to work right now, guys. And just so you know, like me using my phone is allowing me to be here remotely, or I can go and use my laptop. Right. So I try to be very straightforward about like that. And I try not to be complacent with just like randomly scrolling. Yeah. If I need a second to go and whatever, I'll just go into the bathroom, I'll go into the bedroom, or I'll remove myself because I don't want to be in front of them just, you know what I mean, zoning out. But it is complicated. It's complicated because my biggest fear, and I see this so much with just kids in general, is that at a certain point, you know, every person wants to like curate their life based upon this perception that online they're a more interesting, more unique, more whatever version of themselves, whatever it is, make an inauthentic, you know, thing. And I just really, I don't know how. I'm trying to figure it out to empower my kids to just be their most authentic self.